Funny thing happened as I was coming down from that mountaintop. That's Keystone, and there's a gondola and a mountain bike lift. I usually come here to Keystone/Dillon, Colorado to lead hikes to a couple of 14ers in Colorado. This is the fourth. And I think it's just a very good vantage point to find different 14ers. In this case, I wanted to take my wife and son to experience what I experienced. So they don't train for 14ers like I do. The cool thing is you can take gondolas to get to high altitude, and you can experience the sights that you get when you look out over the horizon and see other chains of mountains. As I was coming down, I was taking pictures of the ski lift, and I wanted to get a nice picture up from behind and just shoot the basin that we were heading down to. And I couldn't get the right shot. I was extending my pole as long as I could. In fact, the last shot I got was correct. And unfortunately, as I pulled the pole back in after that one last shot, this phone that I'm talking from broke. It broke off and it fell down off of the ski lift. And I'm thinking, oh no, how could I get that now? I was forced. I had to rent a mountain bike, go to the top, and kind of come all the way down to where I thought I dropped the phone. I haven't done mountain biking ever. Going downhill, you don't really have to expend that much energy. Take a bike, crazily go downhill until I got to a service road like this, and then locate my work phone. Luckily, it looks like it's okay. I gotta head back down that way. And 61, I shouldn't be doing this mountain biking crap, but this is fun. And I'm trying to cool down to get myself ready for the 5K tomorrow. I just realized something. I rode a mountain bike down 11,000 feet. This is what I'm trying to get my patients to try to get ready for a decathlon. Peter Attia, one of my favorite podcasters, coined the phrase, the centenarian decathlon, to encourage people to walk, run, bike, lift, body weight exercises, hike, certain things that will keep them very active. Not only just for physicality, but to help with memory, to help with metabolism. And I also want to get myself so I can, even at 60 plus, maybe even at 70, jump into any sport, to be resilient. The objective is prepare for the worst, which is going to be cancer, heart attack, stroke, dementia. It just sounds so morose. I'd prepare for just kicking ass every decade. And if you don't have a practice that you and your doctor, your team are trying to enforce or get you better at, develop one. I think it's important to have a goal because something always gets in the way. If you look at what happens with people in their 80s as they get weak, have sarcopenia, which is muscle loss, or osteoporosis, which is bone loss, it usually is not because they've slowly aged until 80. It's usually from 60, they get sick, and at 2 weeks or 1 month of sickness recovery, they lose a little bit of muscle strength. And then they get sick again next year, and it gets closer and closer. So every episode of sickness or illness or injury leaves you weaker than before. And if you daisy chain all the injuries over the course of a decade or two, that puts you into being old with sarcopenia, weakness, a metabolic disease, even memory issues. The reason I try to push my patients and myself to be the best patient athlete you can be is because invest in that cardiovascular bank that you are supposed to be depositing in, that you can take out from later on. The only way to really pay it forward is to do some form of exercise, eat properly. Sleep is also important, and mindful practice is really important. Those are the pillars of what I'd say you can be a very good older athlete and avoid disease process. But I have a 5K I'm going to be trying tomorrow at altitude. I think it's like 8,000 feet. Just finished my first mile, and heart rate is 141. And man, these inclines in Colorado are nasty. But as soon as I get over the plateau, I'll just jog again. Was doing about a 10 to 11 minute mile, and RPE is what we're going by. And the last time I did a 5K in Batavia, I think my RPE, going by heart rate and that Borg scale, was about just like now. But I was able to hold it for the whole 2.6 miles till I pulled a muscle. So far so good. Okay, I'm at 2.2 miles and these hills are killing me. As an example of how to follow RPE, my pulse rate's 130. So technically that's an RPE of 13. And I have to try to hit zone 5, manifest at the 150s for the entire time. And again, that's just the goal. If I can pick up my heart rate to 140s, 150s, that would be fair without getting. So the difference between me walking and jogging bumped my heart rate up to 151. So RPE of 15, which is where I want to be. So slight difference between walking fast and jogging slow as far as heart rate. It makes a difference. Hey, just finished up the elevation run 5K. I think my pace was 12:47, which was, I was surprised. With these hills and my jog. That's pretty good. The idea is if you can have something that you're accountable to with regards to the level of intensity you're going at, it would be important. If you go backwards and notice the difference between my breathing between Borg scale of 13 and when I pumped up to 14, 15, I think my breathing was about the same, but my pulse rate was in that sweet spot. Of hitting what I think is VO2 max. So I'll get the averages for my heart rate for this run. But again, the idea was to see if I was able to tolerate a higher elevation compared to Illinois. And I did. I didn't pull anything. Now, obviously, there's other variables involved. My recovery rate, according to my Apple Watch or Ring Morpheus strap, said, do not do anything today and just rest. Which they are my coaches, so to speak. The only reason I pushed through that is my last day in Colorado. I will not be able to reproduce this again for another year. I thought it'd be a cool thing for you guys to see and maybe get some guidance on how to fine-tune your exercise routine. I think the next one I'll do is RPE for strength training, which involves more of 1 rep max or repetitions in reserve, RIR. We'll talk about that next time. Bottom line is that if you're going to invest in exercise, then try to have some measure so you can see your progress. And then by the time you come and see me again, for whatever it is, wellness or quarterly checkup, you'll need me less because you'll be so fine-tuned. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and or becoming a patient with me virtually or in Hoffman Estates. Have a good one. Get outside.